What's up everybody, my name is Michael Martin and this is the FloppyDisk Gaming's News of the Day for October 8th, 2013. Start the day off by going over the big game announcement of the day, which was Beyond Two Souls. Reviews flooded the internet, and half of the internet went, yes, finally, they understand. These games are not fun, they're not playable, their plots are not enough to keep us enticed, and the Ellen Pages and David Cages of the world said, hey, not very nice. It's been a mixed flood of reviews. IGN gave it a 6 out of 10, saying that it was unfocused, that it wasn't fun, like all of other David Cage games, and Rev3 Games gave it, of course, a 5 out of 5. So it's really confusing to understand. I think everybody's gonna have to play this for themselves. Along with Heavy Rain, there were tons of mixed reviews there. Some people thought it was great, some people thought it was unplayable. I'm more on the latter side. I really didn't care about any of the whole plot of it, and we'll just have to see what it comes out to in the Metacritic over the next couple of months. I think that's where we're really going to see what type of effect this game has, rather than just the overall effect of reviewers who are really in it just for the producers and the developers of the games. Second news story of the day, All Things D has been reporting that October 22nd is when the new iPad is going to be announced, which is really a odd selection. We're not going to really be able to see if these reports are true until October 15th, which is when Apple normally sends out all of their press releases telling people that there is going to be a new conference, and we're going to have to see what this new iPad generation brings to the table, even if it is a new iPad. Really, I'm not a huge fan of Apple products, but it's always interesting to see what their next step is, and it really shows you where the market's probably going, because there's going to be tons of rip-offs of Apple products after this, and we're just going to have to see if they start taking into account more of the newer effects of other tablets, or if they're going to be sticking to their iPad. Now we've added 5 pixels more to it. Second and last news story of the day, we have a report that Fox has canceled one of their animated series, that it was picked up for 16 episodes, and they're going to be shopping around to find a new marketplace for it. And not a lot of people are sure what this means. Really, it just means that they're trying to sell it to the Adult Swims and the TBSs of the world. Now, this has worked for the other channels in the past. It's worked for Fox in the past when they've wanted to quit a series. They're quitting American Dad after this next season, which I think is really stupid by Fox, because I think it's one of the funniest shows that they have. I think it even surpasses their Family Guys and their Bob's Burgers of the world. But they have sold it to TBS, who's going to be running new episodes, which I think is going to be a huge help to them. TBS has really made their mark on taking other shows that people have given up on and rebranding them to bring them back into the marketplace, which I think is really smart on their part. And I believe that the show that they've canceled, which was Murder Police, I don't typically like the idea, the concept of it, but I think it's really great that they're not just getting canceled anymore. There's now a chance for cable companies to pick these up and see what they can do with them. Final news story of the day, we have the news that came out that the PS3 was actually delayed a year, which is absolutely shocking, because most people believe that the PS3 just wasn't ready and wasn't even planned to come out in 2005 when it was announced, but they apparently had a huge idea that they were going to get it out when the Xbox 360 came out. And a lot of people thought that it was going to be it would have been the big console and the Xbox would have stayed low, but we have to see here now is that the PS3 was delayed this year, so they must have known somewhat going into it that there was going to be a new generation. And this almost seems like my theory on what happened with the Xbox this generation, and the fact that I don't think they were ready. I think that they have a couple more years down the road planned to where they weren't going to announce the Xbox One, and I really think that PlayStation got the jump on them this time. Since they are announcing all these games that are going to be coming out for, I think they said the next 5 years, and Sony's like, yeah, we'll have a couple coming into the next generation, but our current gen is going to die out. I think that Sony was prepared this time while Xbox was caught with their pants down, and I think they just had they thought they had a little bit more time before Sony announced. Since Sony originally came out saying, we're not going to announce until we see Xbox announce. So I think on February 20th, when Sony was like, boom, PS4, what up? I think Xbox just wasn't ready for that then. I think they wanted to do it probably in 2014, 2015, since they've announced that there's so many more games coming out for the 360 that aren't going to be on next-gen consoles yet. We have to see is that Sony really got the jump on them this time, and if Xbox really did believe that they had the upper hand and that they were going to be able to control the market and how it was going to be developed, I don't think that if Xbox had controlled it, we would even see a next-gen console until probably earliest 2015. Really, what we have to see is we're seeing some of the mistakes that the PlayStation 3 made last console cycle, this console cycle, and I believe that showing how Xbox waited March, April, May, 3 months before they even announced their next-gen console, and they had tried to be so innovative, just like PlayStation 3 was last console cycle. I think they've made almost textbook every mistake that the PlayStation 3 made. While I believe that the PlayStation 3 is currently, in the consoles that we have, one of the best consoles ever, if not the best console ever, even compared to the Xbox 360s of the world, we have to see that really Microsoft fell into the trip fall of the third generation cycle, and this article just points that out even more.